spud lovers, welcome back to another Palia video. Today we're looking at which foraging item is the most profitable, and on top of that whether or not foraging is actually worth your time. Just as with my other videos on mining and gardening, the number one spot was not as predictable as I expected it to be. The rules with this experiment, like the others, is relatively the same. Using roughly 15 minutes in Kilima Valley and 15 minutes in Bahari Bay, I'm going to collect every single forageable whenever I come across it. I will say, because you're constantly competing for these resources with other players, it's not as easy to get some of these, so we weren't actually able to get anything for a few of these items. And the rarity of these items themselves will actually play a part in whether or not it's actually worth the hunt. To make it more fair, I do have an alternative comparison at the end in which I will give every single resource a defaulted collected 10 status, so at the end we will make that comparison too. The forageables in question will be based on the list of 19 that you can find in the achievement Kilima and Bahari Forage Collector. This does not include trees and seeds, despite this being part of the foraging category. Now let's get started. Emerald Carpet Moss. Found near the lake in Kilima Valley, it's pretty easy to find, and it's not very sought after by other players. It's worth 18 gold each, and I found 16 of them, which gives us a total value of 288 gold. Green Pearls. Found by cracking open the unopened oysters, there's roughly a 3% chance you can find one inside. This is very hard to acquire and one of the rarest foraging items in the game. It's worth 290 gold each, and we found none. During our experiment and made 0 gold because of it. Other than a bundle wanting one, there's currently no other reason to really keep them on hand, and would be best suited to sell if you do come across multiple of them though. Dari Cloves. These are actually very hard to find and are only located in just a couple of different spots in Bahari Bay. They are heavily sought after by other players for their value of 60 gold each and due to their overall rarity. It's also noted that the 4 seeds you can collect from medium and large trees are worth the same amount and are much easier to acquire. We found none of these during our experiment and again came up with 0 gold. Unopened Oysters. You can either find these everywhere in Bahari Bay alongside shells, or nowhere at all. People want these because of their potential for pearls, so you may come across none at all because they're already collected. By themselves, they're only worth 6 gold each, and we found 7 of them, giving us a total value of 42 gold. Shells. These are very abundant as nobody really collects these due to their low value of 12 gold each, and are found everywhere on the beaches of Bahari Bay. We collected 13 and got a value of 156 gold. Heartdrop Lily. Similar to Dari Clove, these are rare and highly sought after by other players. They can be found in just a few places in Bahari Bay and are worth 40 gold each. We again found none in our experimental time, so we got a value of 0 gold. Mountain Morel. Located literally everywhere in both Kilima and Bahari Bay, they are worth 8 gold or 12 gold as a gold star. They are mostly used for a quick bite to restore some of your focus or to cook into a more substantial meal. We found 10 in Kilima and 16 in Bahari. Technically 4 of these were gold star, but I'm just gonna pretend that they're normal quality. I'm also combining these two despite them being from 2 separate experimental fields due to the emphasis on their abundance and how the quantity is very much achievable outside of this type of experiment. So with 28 collected, we got a value of 224 gold. Brightshrooms. In Bahari Bay, they are in a very few select spots, and they alternate when they appear, making them very hard to find, and they're sought after by other players. They are worth 30 gold each, and we were not able to find any in the normal places I typically find them. Wild Garlic. Found in both Kilima and Bahari, garlic is in a few different spots, so it's everywhere yet not as common at the same time. We found one, however, it disappeared right before I got to it, and we ended up with none. It's worth 15 gold or 22 gold as a gold star, but we ended up with 0 gold. These are not hard to find, and I was actually a bit shocked that I couldn't find any during this experiment. I typically go around and find a couple of them at least each time I'm out and about. Pearls. Found the same way as green pearls, but with roughly a 30% chance of finding it in an unopened oyster. They are worth 105 gold and are also sought after by players. We ended up with 1, with a value of 105 to go with it. Coral. One of the least sought after forage items in the game, coral is worth 24 gold and found on the beaches with shells and oysters. We found 1 with a value of 24 gold. I usually can find 5 or 6 in normal playthroughs, but they just were not spawning in during the session. Heat root. These are tricky. They are found on the sides of cliffs in Bahari in a few different places, and they're used in a bundle, they're used in recipes. It's worth 30 gold or 45 gold for gold star. We found none in our search with a value of 0 gold. I've only been able to find about 5 of these in my entire game lifetime, and they're sought after by players heavily. Crystal Lake Lotus. Found easily along the Kilima Lake in Einar's Pond, they are worth 20 gold each, and we found 8 of them, giving us a value of 160 gold. These are not really sought after by other players, but I do come across competition from time to time. Sundrop Lily. The most abundant forageable in the entire game, they are found literally everywhere, and they are not heavily sought after, with a worth of a very low 10 gold each. It's used in a quest and a few crafting recipes, but that's namely it. We found 16 in Kilima and 8 in Bahari, giving us a total collection of 26 and a total value of 260 gold. Dragon's Beard Peat. Found in a few places near water in Bahari, these are basically an alternate version of the emerald carpet moss. Valued at 36 gold, it's not heavily sought after and it's relatively easy to find, but its spawn quantity is pretty low. We found 4 for a total value of 144 gold. Spice Sprouts. Valued at the same as some of the other forageables at 15 gold or 22 gold. They are found in Kilima near the farm and the Mirror Pond ruins. We found 9, giving us a total value of 135 gold. They are sort of sought after by other players as it's used in a lot of recipes and it's easy to locate, making the competition kind of a medium amount. Sweet Leaf. Very sought after in Bahari. I'm always coming across other players looking for Sweet Leaf due to it being a weekly want often, and it's used in a lot of dessert recipes like the celebration cake. It's worth 15 gold or 22 gold, and we got 9, giving us a value of 135 gold. Briar Daisy. Used in a few quests, weekly wants, and crafting recipes, they are sought after by other players. They are worth 15 gold each and are found on the hilltops all over Bahari. We found 6 of them, giving us a total value of 90 gold. Oyster Meat. I was actually shocked that this was part of the forage category, but regardless, these are worth 9 gold or 13 gold for gold star. We got 7 of them for a value of 63 gold. People really only have these for a quick nibble or because they were hoping for pearls. And that's the whole list. Overall, Emerald Carpet Moss came in first place using this experiment of what you can expect from a time limit style of gathering forageables. With this being an MMO style game, you're gonna come across other players and their desire for the same items, and the likelihood of getting those items first try around is pretty low, and this really does reflect that. But what if we gave each forageable a set amount collected, say 10? Then these numbers look very different, and it's more based off their worth value rather than the realistic nature of getting these items in the first place. Getting 10 green pearls would possibly require hundreds of unopened oysters, and the other hard to find items would require sitting by the areas that they are known to spawn at and wait for their respawn time to make them collectible if you're trying to get them all in the quickest amount of time possible. But this can all take much longer than a meager 15 to 30 minutes of your time like the experiment had. In the end, I'd have to go off the numbers from the time limit chart due to its more realistic nature of collection. And using these numbers, you only get about 1,697 gold by selling all of these that are on the chart. That's not very much. We were able to collect far more funds by mining than foraging. So I'm gonna end it at this. It's not worth collecting forageables for the sake of profit, but it's worth collecting for things such as cooking, crafting, and quests. That's all I have for you today. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked this video, please hit the thumbs up and subscribe for more like this in the future. We have a few more categories to hit, so be on the lookout for those. I've been appreciating the feedback from my other videos and enjoy reading the comments. If you found any flaws in this video, I'd love to hear your take on it. Thanks again, and I'll see you next time. Bye!